What single phrase will define the human species for the rest of our lives? I'll tell you. It's mobility is destiny. Look around. Families are ditching big cities for the suburbs. Remote workers are moving to the Caribbean, Eastern Europe, or Bali. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. In the decades ahead, much of humanity is going to have to move. I'm not talking about millions of people, but more than 1 billion. In Move, I explain the major forces driving us all to become a nomadic species again. The US, Canada, and Europe are all aging rapidly and desperate for young people to care for their elderly, fix our infrastructure, and pay taxes. Today's xenophobia and populism are going to give way to an all-out war for young global talent. Then there's political and economic crises, another explosion of refugees from failing states in Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East. And of course, there's climate change. Right now, Americans are moving to Florida and Texas, but with sea levels rising and drought spreading, soon we'll be moving back north towards the Great Lakes, Rockies, and Canada. All across the world, these forces are colliding and pushing people to move. Did you know that twice as many Americans have already left the country as a decade ago? And in the past year, the number of Americans getting second passports doubled, mostly in order to move to Europe. Global demographics are going through seismic shifts. The world population is about to plateau and even decline. Huge population shifts are occurring. Just look at India, whose diaspora is soon going to be larger than China's. Within a decade, there will be way more Indian Americans than Chinese Americans. The most important election in the world is taking place every day. It's the one where people vote with their feet. Young people totally get this. That's why they're not buying homes, but trailers and RVs instead. They have no idea where the work will be tomorrow or which part of the world will be more stable. That's why I define the new American dream around mobility and skills, not homes and degrees. We need to have a radical new conversation about all of this. Embracing mass migration is how to make America great again. The global war for talent will steal away the best Americans and Asians to Europe or back to Asia unless we have an immigration policy based on supply and demand, not ideology. And I make some radical proposals for how we need to reorganize our political borders, industrial supply chains, and build new settlements to prepare the next generation for a turbulent future. This is actually a hopeful book. There are a lot of people writing about how climate change and resource wars will kill us. But this is a book about how and where we will survive by reorganizing our global politics and economics. To paraphrase from Yuval Harari, Move is a brief future of humankind. Here's what I'm going to do for promotion. Generate a lot of bulk corporate pre-orders through speaker bureaus, flood social media with cool maps and graphics from the book and get a lot of people with big followings to endorse it. I'll do a lot of TV, radio, podcasts, print interviews, and articles. I'll be doing virtual and in-person events all over the US and the world, from universities to Fortune 500 companies to business associations and think tanks. So you can count on me to be wherever you need me and make this book a huge success. Thanks so much for all your efforts.